So we recognise at some point on this journey that we just want to feel good, isn't it? And it's okay to have that as a desire. Sometimes we go the wrong ways around feeling good, but we're going to talk about a 4-step equation, the 4-step feel good equation, because it works every time. So we have 4 things that we want to do to make sure that we feel good in life. We want to feel good about ourselves, right? And we want to feel good inside in relationship to the work that we're doing as well and the people that we're interacting with. And so here's 4 things that I found in my journey that are just key. Otherwise, if we lack one of them, it's okay. It's an area for work and growth. But if we do lack one of them, we are going to suffer. And I don't sit upon high and say these things. No, I know them because I've been through them, or the absence thereof of these things that I'm about to bring up. So before I dive into the first one, I just want to bring your attention down below into the comments section where there is some free offerings. We do free yoga here, a free breathing practice that you are able to sign up for that will instill a wonderful amount of prana in the system, and that's kind of what we're going for here. More prana, meaning more energy in the system, means we can do more wonderful things for our life. There's also a free community on Discord or Facebook. It's up to you. You may choose, and they're down below. They're free. I'll never charge you for them. And there's also some paid things that you're more than welcome to sign up for. One of them is the Awakening Coaching, and you're more than welcome to fill in the free application form for that down below. The first thing that we want to perhaps bring into our life, if we're not feeling good, I'm not accusing you, that you're lacking in this, but these are just some general ideas that I found from my life. The first one is honesty. I want to say honesty, by this point on the journey, we're not being dishonest in relationship to, dishonesty that would lead us into jail. I mean, we're not being dishonest and stealing things from people, and if we are, then stop. And we're not being lying to people. Sometimes it might be necessary to save somebody's feelings, but we're not really lying to people in a big way anymore. We're talking, when we say honesty here, in relationship to honesty with ourselves. Can I be honest with the way that I perceive the world? Can I be honest with the people that I'm communicating with? Am I being honest with these thought patterns that I might have inside of my head? Sometimes we can convince ourselves that the work is done, but all it takes is a quiet moment of self-inquiry for us to realize, oh gosh, I really am quite negative, meaning that was an egoic thing to say. I'm really experiencing some negativity in the mind. It's still here. And sometimes we can come up with a big sigh and go, oh, more work to do then. And the answer's kind of, yeah. A little bit more work to do. Can we be honest with ourselves in relationship to that I'm not the finished article, that I'm an ongoing process of evolution in life? And then if we see ourselves that way, that kind of makes death kind of quite interesting, huh? Because if I'm an ongoing evolution, then how can evolution end? Isn't death just another doorway, a new possibility for me to continue evolving through? Who knows? Just a thought. The second thing is integrity. We must be who we say we are, isn't it? Otherwise, we suffer. If I start, I know it. Oh, I know it in me. It makes me cringe inside. And my teacher told me to go to vegetarian. He says, vegetarian's the best diet. We're all going to go vegetarian for our teacher training course. And I wasn't ready to go vegetarian. I'd been a meat eater all of my life. I'm still not fully vegetarian in relationship to my life. But he said, you have to go vegetarian. And I would lie to my teacher outright and just say, yeah, I'm vegetarian. But then my mind would judge all of the other people on the course that were more honest than me, that said, no, I'm not vegetarian yet, I'm not doing it, I like my meat. And then my ego, spiritual ego, would judge it and go, well, you're not spiritual then, even though I wasn't doing it, And so we have to be who we say we are, or at least making steps to become that person of who we say we are, or who we say that we prefer to be. And if not, we'll suffer. Why? Well, because in essence, we're lying to ourselves and, in a way, other people. All right, it's not harsh, dark lies anymore, but it's still, there will still be a sense of insincerity in ourselves, and people probably pick up on that, but that will create suffering within us because it's not honest. So, third thing is, and this is probably, I would say, the most important, is gratitude. This could be a one-step process, you know, but this is the third step here, is gratitude. It seems to be that if we're not grateful for where we are in our life right now, then we can't move on. It seems to be that we have to employ this element of loving this moment. Life seems to love it when we love this moment as it's represented to us. The difficulty is we like to judge. I know it. We like to judge life, right? And we've picked up this new sadhana that we're doing, me specifically, that requires us to do 650 odd breaths. It's a lot, but it's continuous. And that's a lot of breathing to do. And I used to, sorry, I'm snot on my hand. I used to get some pain in here while I was doing those breathing practices, and I would judge it and I would go, why is this here? This shouldn't be here. If I'm doing all of this work, you know, I shouldn't be feeling pain in my body like this. What's going on? I was judging it, thinking I knew better than life. But what I was doing was it was realigning my body so that I could have a better posture and so that no pain would be caused when I'm doing these breathing practices, because I now have that appropriate posture, that appropriate spinal stability inside of myself. And so what I'm trying to say is, though life might be painful in this moment, if we judge it, we're gonna probably experience more resistance, less freedom in that moment, rather than if we just accept what is, because there's intelligence to pain. We're feeling it for a reason. It's fixing us and it's helping us. That's why pain, or emotional pain even, is happening for us, not necessarily to us. The fourth thing then is humility. Can we be approachable still in a way for people to want to come and talk to us and gain information from us, even though we're doing our spiritual path, right? Sometimes we can become spiritually arrogant and we can force our opinions on people. It's kind of what I'm doing here, so sorry guys, but this is just a safe way for me to be able to do it, right? Without peeing people off, because naturally the people that are ready for this information will then be attracted to it. And so, can we have that humility? Meaning, what is humility? Well, it means to be humble. It means to not have such a high opinion of oneself. It means I can have all of this knowledge and wisdom inside, but I don't need to be right all the time. Guilty sometimes, you know, isn't it? In relationship to our normal life in the world, we love being right. Something about the ego loves to be right, as if it's going to die if it isn't right. And it can be perceived that way, but it isn't true. This is the humility. This is us dying to maybe even sometimes not knowing the answers. And that's okay too. To have that humility to say, I'm okay with not knowing, and have that humility of saying, I do know sometimes the answer to your problem, but I don't need to force it upon you and become your savior. I hope this helps. These work. These 4 steps. I might take some time to put them into our life, but gratitude's the biggest one, because it makes us whole in that moment. It makes what was once separate whole. A grumbly mind creates separation. I'm now separate from this life. I'm blaming life for the reason why my life is the way it is. And you know, sometimes that's valid, huh? But blame doesn't get us anywhere. It brings more negativity into the system, isn't it? It doesn't feel nice. But to create ourselves from that separate state into something more whole, gratitude is required. We have to be, I sound preachy now, we don't have to be, it's your choice. It is our choice, we are creating it, it's our choice in this moment. But the better option for me is to be grateful for what is, to be grateful for who I am, to be grateful for who I'm becoming, even if I and others have told me many times that it's weird. You know, it's okay that they think it's weird. People judge what they don't understand, and not everybody's going to understand you, and that's okay too. I hope this helps. Have a lovely evening. Namaste.